Hide under.
Attention passengers, this is SNY Keith Hernandez, and this is a Queens-bound 7 express train, the fastest way to Citi Field to see your Metsies.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? What is going on? It is your host, David from Top Bunk Sports, and I'm here with my three and a new host, because we got a new member to the family. Shout out to my guy, Amish. Welcome to the family, my guy.
What up? Thank you. Appreciate it. Good to be here officially. I already feel like I'm part of the crew, but it's good to be official now.
Of course, man. Love having you on. Shout out to my other hosts, Chris and AP, fellas. How y'all doing? What's going on?
Yeah, we're good. I just want to welcome Amish to the crew. It should be a fun year to have Amish on, but I don't know about the bets.
Yeah. Shout out to Torpedoes. What's going on, baby?
I don't got nothing to say. Let's just start the show.
Okay, then. Hey, it was an interesting couple of weeks of baseball. Obviously, we already started the season with some blood pressures of games and some up and downs. Right, we started off with our 3 games in Houston, and to much of a surprise, it was not as bad as I thought. And I know we did lose 2 out of 3. But in terms of the production and how close we were kept in games, mostly by the pitching rotation, I thought it was a lot of good things to see. Starting off with game 1. I mean, game 1, it was back and forth. And I think for the most part, the offense, there was no offense. And I kind of gave it a pass just because of the fact that, they're back. It doesn't matter who you are. You're a human being. You're going to get those butterflies. You're going to get those first game jitters. It's going to happen. But Framber Valdez kind of had us on the quiet side. And he had us looking terrible. We didn't really get our first run up until, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the 8th or 9th inning. And by the time we got that first run in, we were already down 3 runs. So it was kind of over at that point. We did have the bases loaded in back-to-back innings in the 8th inning and the 9th inning, but we just couldn't cash in. And again, it's a repeated thing for this Mets organization where we constantly have runners in scoring position and we cannot cash in. What did you guys think about game 1 and the rest of the games in that series? I'll start off with Amish, you can start off as the new member of the crew.
All right, I appreciate it. It was a frustrating series. I mean, the Mets easily could have swept all 3 games. If they just hit the damn ball. The pitching was good enough. The pitching did what they had to do, and that's pretty much been the case all season. I mean, it's only 6 games, but still. But particularly in that series, like if the bats wake the hell up, the Mets are 3-0. But the offense got off to a sputtering start. The defense has been leaving a lot to be desired as well. But yeah, we just left too many opportunities. Like there were situations where we could have easily tied the game or taken the lead, and we kept failing every time. Other than Alonso coming up with a couple big hits. I mean, Soto didn't have a bad series, but everybody else didn't really do anything. It's just been, I don't know. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating. There's no other way to really put it. There's reason to believe that it's obviously just early season crap, struggles, whatever, but you don't want to start the season this way, especially with all the expectations and everything that's on this team. But I think that could be part of the problem too. I think this team, obviously, they proved it last year, and granted, they have different guys, some different guys in there, but when they press, it's not a good thing. And last year, they didn't start clicking till when JD Martinez said it. He looked at the guys and said, "Listen, there's nothing. Everybody thinks we suck anyway. So what are we worrying about?" So they don't have that option this year, though. This year, everybody thinks they're supposed to be good. So they just need to stop whatever's in their heads. Like obviously, Vientos looks like he's in his head right now. JD's a lost cause. I don't want to talk about him, but yeah, man, that first series in particular is just all I could sum it up as frustrating. The bats just didn't come up when they needed to, and that was it. I was encouraged by the pitching, though, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about, and you just look at game one, for example, they were 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position, and then they left 10 on base overall. I mean, you could talk about the pitching. Clay Holmes had a solid outing. He went he went 4 innings, gave 5 hits, 3 runs, and 2 of them were earned, 4 walks and 4 Ks. He still, I know it might sound a little bit like he could have been better, but he kept the Mets in the game. It was mostly the offense that had to wake up and do something, and it wasn't it. Chris, what's your thoughts on this series so far?
I mean, almost said it perfectly. The word is frustration. I mean, Soto right off the bat showed how much of a on base demon he was. Alonso taking great at bats. Alonso looks like a totally different guy at the plate,
Right.
and everybody else is just in their ways. Like everybody else is just like taking it like they're still in spring training, taking this slow by. Vientos is like I feel like he needs like a spark in his ass or something. Like he needs pressure on him. He needs somebody to tell him, "Yo, this job is not secure," because it feels like he. It feels, and this is not what I mean. It's not true, but it feels like he secured his position and he's taking it like, I'm here already. Like you got to prove it, buddy. Like you still got to prove it. You still got to be consistent because life comes at you quick. So I don't want him to get too comfortable. I still want him to have that passion. And I get it. It's only 6 games. You can't really knock him. But he obviously he's in his head. He's not. He looks like he's trying to do things that what got him to succeed. He's trying to get away from it. Like he's still thinking that he could do this, that. Like he just gotta calm down and just do what you do best. Hit. And the rest, don't take that frustration from the at bat to the field. That's all I ask for. Like, if you can't do one, do the other one.
Right.
And everybody else, Memo, the Lindor, the series with Houston. That I know everybody's saying he's in a strip, but he's been hitting the ball very hard. It's just that he had no. That first game, he had no like. It took this guy did a Michael Jordan move. He jumped in the air, did the Michael Jordan Logan, and caught the ball on him. Pena. He hit a ball very hard.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, a sac fly that he hit, he hit it right on squared up, but it obviously hit to the deepest part of the park. But these guys gotta just be a little bit more consistent. At one point, they're all gonna click. At one point, we expect it.
Your thing on Vientos, I think both you guys are spot on Vientos. His one big hit so far in these 2 series was in game 2 against the Astros, where he started scoring off with a double. That was it. Like that's the only clean hit he has had. Ever since then, he has not been consistent. So again, I'm not really concerned about it yet, because I do feel like it's just one of those things where it's a start off struggle. But it does feel like he came in there thinking, "Oh, I'm their top guy," when that's not that. You still got something to prove, because you've shown this type of success for 1 year. So, AP, what's your thoughts on this, man?
Oh man, the series in Houston sucked so bad because it just felt like a bunch of what ifs. It definitely feels like a lot of the team is in their head, and surprisingly, it's not Pete this time, because I felt like Pete last year was just nothing but purely in his head the whole time, and this year it feels like Lindor, I think, is pressing from the jump because he's always had to deal with like slow starts. So now it becomes like, man, like you even see when he hit it in Miami, which we'll talk about, he was celebrating like he won the championship, like, and you could tell like he's pressing. Vientos is pressing like insane. He's acting like Jeff McNeil out there, so you could tell that he's not happy. Like you could tell that a lot of the team right now is very much. I don't know if it's the pressure of like this is supposed to be a really good offense that's really making them like take these awful at bats, but it's just like I don't know, like they're swinging like Vientos is swinging at anything in the dirt. Like he's regressing with that slider. Anytime he sees a fastball that he could hit, he doesn't swing at it or he's late on it. That series in Houston, Soto was as advertised. He hit a monster shot. The first game, just highlighting the first game, when he came up against the closer. Oh my God, Hader. When he came up against Hader, I couldn't believe he swung at that slider. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen him like look that bad. And then but the thing about him is that maybe he has one of those situations where he strikes out or whatever. But you saw how he adjusted the last game of the series when Hader came back and he threw him that same pitch and Soto just bit on it and threw the walk. So you could tell that Soto makes adjustments and he doesn't seem to make the same mistakes often. So I mean, I think that we're going to knock on wood see him flourish out here. But yeah, Pete was the only one really locked in. He seems like the only one that's locked in right now. I'm happy that we got that one game in. I really wanted two. I really felt that we should have at least had two. I feel like we like Amish said, we had an opportunity to sweep them. I just think that right now their offense is just not doing much. The pitching has been better than advertised. Everybody said that we had no pitching. Everybody up and down, like, oh man, this pitching. And like, well, I'm not gonna say that I'm not worried about that starting staff, but the bullpen though, the bullpen looks like that could be an area of strength that nobody thought of. That bullpen has the potential to be a lights out bullpen. And if you think about the teams that have won in October, they have good offenses, explosive offenses, and a really lights out bullpen. And I think the Mets have the ingredients to have that. We have Kranick that came and he's dominated so far. A guy that I've been clamoring about bringing up here, and I'm glad he's here. We have Budo, who's looked really good. And we have Brazelbaum, who I think that you can't let him go down to the minors anymore. I want Danny Young's shot to the moon, by the way. He could go anywhere but this team. I don't understand why he's here. I don't think he belongs in the majors. I don't think he's a major league pitcher. I think that he needs to be ghost.
You have somebody, Genesis Cabrera, who can definitely take his spot.
I don't understand why he's not on this team. That was the one thing that I didn't understand going up. Like, why didn't Cabrera come up with this team? I know that he may not have had a strong spring, but I just feel like he's an arm that's way better than whatever Danny Young brings to this team. Like, I don't know. Danny Young must have some like dirt on like Cohen or something that made him join this team, because I really don't know what it was. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I think that this first series was very irritating. It was not what I expected out of the gate. I thought that the offense would have been a little bit better against the last two. I mean, obviously we got the win in game 2, but I really thought that we could have beat their third starter. I want to say almost Spaghetti, but I know his name's not Spaghetti. But I know his ERA is like it was almost 6 at one point.
Arrighetti.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I just think it just sounded like spaghetti, so whatever. But yeah, I thought that we could have easily have gotten more than one run in that game. Like, I don't know why we
one hit.
One hit,
only got one.
And that was Soto in the first inning, a double, and then Siri stole You know what? If we're here, I'm gonna bring this question to all of you because I know that I could talk forever. Blame my mother. Siri did not get the majority of starts in the series. Siri was only starting game 3 of the series for whatever reason that Mendoza went to. Siri, you saw what he could do when he gets on base, what he brings with his legs. We know his defense. We know he strikes out a ton, but he also has the power. Do you think that this is the right or wrong move by Mendoza to kind of have Taylor almost seem like he's the starter?
Well, I'm gonna go with lately what I saw. I don't know what happened in Miami, and I know I'm jumping the series now, but Taylor for some reason lost the ball in center field. They couldn't catch it, and that caused Clay Holmes obviously have a look better than what it was. And you telling me I got a superior center fielder that's gonna steal bases, and I know he's a bit crazy in the base pass. He is. I ain't gonna deny. Sometimes you gotta put a leash on him, but this man can create runs. Why are we sitting this man? And he has more pop than Taylor. Taylor is just a fourth outfielder. We know who he is. I'm not saying Siri is a bona fide hitter. He ain't. But I'd rather take my chance with a guy that might run into one than a guy that I know he's not going to run into one. And he's just a great defender. And obviously, the last game, he wasn't that great. So I don't know. I feel like Siri brings more to the table in that aspect. But Mendoza get the big bucks. I don't.
Amish?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'd like to see Siri more. I think they made it like from the jump. They said they were going to split the job. That's basically what they've done. I mean, Siri's only got a couple hits, but the difference is that when Siri gets on base, he's electric. When Siri makes even bad things look better than he has this aura about him that makes him look like flashy and you want to see more of him. But if you really compare them, they're not doing anything that different. Siri I probably like his defense a little more. I don't know. I'm not gonna complain yet about them splitting time. I would like to see Siri eventually, if he proves he can hit a little bit, see him get a little bit more of the at bats. But right now, I don't think that anything's going to change. I think they're just going to keep splitting, and I can live with that because, listen, the make or break of this offense isn't freaking Siri or Taylor. It's the Lindors, Soto, Alonso, Vientos, who was lost. Brett Beatty, who really, I don't know why we keep giving opportunity to. That's the guy, if anything, we keep getting force fed. Acuna needs to get more of the playing time. Let's be real about that one.
But I guess the reason why I wanted to bring Siri's name up, especially in this series, was Siri has the potential for 20 home runs a year, right? So what I was thinking with this series is we got the Crawford seats. It's not that far to hit a home run. You don't think that there was more of potential if he played this series out that maybe he could have ran into one more than maybe a Taylor? Now, I understand that you could say that Taylor's more of a contact hitter, so we were looking for somebody to get more on base, especially against Valdez. But I just feel like any mistake over the plate, he could have maybe provided a home run or given us a little bit more offense down in the bottom of the lineup. That was just my thinking. I know that he's not a great offensive player. I know that he usually hits around the Mendoza line, but I just think that in a situation where you got a bandbox and you have a hitter that has that potential, maybe that could be the difference in the game.
I mean, yeah, I just think it's one of those situations where he's going to keep playing both of them as much as he can because he understands what they bring on a positive side. Now, obviously, you don't really see too many mistakes from Tyrone Taylor. So what you saw from him in Miami was kind of like a little bit of a shocker. I don't think you'll see it consistently unless he ends up going through some sort of drought or some sort of thing where it's going to be like, all right, we need to get him off the field. But there, I didn't come. The thing is, I don't see, and not you guys in particularly, but there's a lot of Met fans that were expecting Jose Siri to play every day. That wasn't the case. Like, people just dismissed Tyrone Taylor as if he was some backup and he was never that good. No, he proved something last year. This is why people were claiming for him to play more than Harrison Bader, because when Harrison Bader was getting playing time, he wasn't consistent. He wasn't consistently hitting. You saw different sprouts of him here and there, but he wasn't making contact a lot of times. He was just striking out. Tyrone Taylor, on the other hand, was putting the ball in play, getting certain hits. This is and again, his defense wasn't questionable. This is why he was getting more playing time. So for them, as much as we spoke about it in the offseason, them getting Jose Siri was a definite upgrade, but he wasn't going to get a lot of playing time because you have Tyrone Taylor there. You know what I'm saying? And Mendy has shown that certain guys it's going to rotate. Again, as much we could talk about Brett Beatty all we want, and I've said this countless times. Everybody keeps saying on Twitter and in spaces, everything. Man, I can't wait for Brett Beatty to do this. Man, I can't wait for Brett Beatty to get his opportunity. Why can't you? At what point are we going to say, yo, enough's enough? How many times is this kid going to get this opportunity and fail? Like, this is why everybody, when they were shaking their ass for Brett Beatty to get another opportunity, I was like, why? Why y'all shaking your ass for a kid who's had more than 500 games already played or more 500 plate appearances, and he continues to stink up the joint? This is why he's not it. This is why I tell people, stop putting these notions on these kids that they're not up. They haven't lived up to the expectations yet. People keep saying, oh, Brett Beatty could be the next David Wright. Brett Beatty could be the next full-time third baseman. No, he hasn't shown anything yet. Mark Vientos, on the other hand, proved that as of right now, as much as he's struggling, he's our sole guy because he showed something last year. Brett Beatty hasn't, and to me, it's kind of like, yo, and how much more are you going to give this kid? How much more before you tell him, listen, we're not going to bring you up anymore? You could go, your average could be at 700 in AAA. It doesn't count because when you get up here, you end up going dark. You end up going night. Like, you don't do nothing. Nobody ever finds you. So it's again, when it comes to opportunities, those Siri and Taylor are gonna get their opportunity at the same time because they both prove something on both sides of the plate and on one side of the plate, excuse me. And at the end of the day, their defense is good enough to where Mendy's gonna keep playing these guys on and off. It's not just gonna be one guy. As much as I think Siri is a much better player, Tyrone Taylor has something to prove. And at the end of the day, he showed it last year when he was playing more games than Harrison Bader. And right now, it's going to be a situation where, Mendy's still going to go with him because he's shown a lot last year. So, that's a good question, AP. But that definitely, that's something to keep an eye on because, those guys are playing. It's an up and down thing with them. And again, it won't even help if Jose Siri, if all he's doing is home runs, and you don't see no consistent at bats, then you got to ask yourself, like, okay, so then what the hell are we going to do now? You know what I'm saying? Like, because if Jose Siri ends up going to a cold spot, it's like, then you really got a hard decision to make.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it'd be like, joining terrible spaces. Like, you don't want to put yourself in like these bad situations.
Right. I mean, talk about terrible spacing. Brett Beatty is one of them because you could definitely put Acuna in that situation. So, anyways, going on to the next series, and we went to beautiful Miami, and it wasn't so beautiful. We definitely had to let off some sweat, and it looked like after the first game when they scored 10 runs, shockingly, right? Because we were wondering when the bats were going to come up. There was one guy out of all three games that really said, yo, I'm him. And in the first game, he ended up doing something that a lot of people were basically just like, yo, thank God, because we know what he can do. And we're glad that his approaches at the plate are not what we seen last year. And again, this is what you're going to get.
Again, the 3-2. In the air, deep right center, back toward the gap. Myers near the wall, and it's out of here! Pete Alonso, grand slam! first home run of the year for Alonso, his 4th career grand slam, and it's 6-1 New York.
So you had that. And again, it was, in my opinion, I think it was a breath of fresh air, just because of the fact that we talk about so much about Alonso's, his approaches at the plate, him being strict and him not being, not going all over the place, not swinging at wild pitches out of the strike zone, him being firm, him only going after pitches that he needs to go after. So you kind of see that. And we've spoke about it earlier, the changes that he's been able to make at the plate. I think it's really, really, really dope to see. And I hope that it does continue. We go on to game 2, where game 2, it seemed like the Marlins obviously got the jump on us, and then we ended up tying the game, but that was all. We only scored 2 runs, and then all of a sudden, Kodai Senga kept us in the game, and he didn't really pitch bad. Like, he actually pitched really good, and he kept us in the game. But once he gave up that 2-run double, it was like the offense just went silent.
Well, the defense let him down on one, and
right,
and recover from that.
Right. The 2 runs that he gave up after the game was tied were unearned, and part of it was Lindor's era, which I know people wanted to kill him, but for so much that he's done, he wasn't there at the moment. People gotta understand that. But then they go on to game 3, and game 3 was a movie, to say the least. And again, this guy was in the center of it all, because he did this in game 3.
While we wait for the video, anybody seen any interesting movies lately?
My apologies.
I did hear an interesting space, though.
Do tell.
Oh, really?
Shout out to spacing. It works in baseball. Y'all should try that drill, man. If y'all ever take y'all kids down to the field, make sure y'all teach them on spacing drills on the field. It helps. It helps.
Awesome.
I don't know why the video played, but shout out to Amish.
It's fun. The home run that you were trying to play went out faster than it did buffering over there. But
yeah,
let's just. Pete Alonso has single-handedly saved the Mets. Pete Alonso has single-handedly saved the Mets, unlike anybody that could have. I'm not going there. Anyway, so Pete Alonso has single-handedly saved the Mets, and I'm talking about saving them in 6 games, but he saved them embarrassment, because honestly, I just subscribed to an OF page called Torpedo Bats. So did the Yankees. Pete Alonso basically saved us from being embarrassed, because the Mets were on the cusp of one of the sloppiest game. Sloppy and OFs. There you go. They go together.
Correlation, man. Yeah.
All right. I don't know what the comedy styles that I have going in my head is, but maybe it's like I just don't have air in my air getting to my brain. But the Mets were an inning away from one of the worst losses that I've seen in a while. Vientos throws the ball to Shaquille O'Neal behind the catcher. Then you have him catch a ball that he thought he thought it was foul. Then he had that dumb he when a 4-year-old craps their pants and they don't know, they have that face he had that face, and I'm like, yo, if you don't get the hell out of here. Beatty's another one that just.
Beatty's a nut, yo. Beatty's a nut.
Just left Beatty in Miami. They should have left him there and be like, if you want him, take him. If not, just leave him. He'll find his way home, I guess.
Not to cut you off, but there's a specific topic that I guess Met fans have been talking about that could involve Beatty getting the fuck out of here, and that's Miami's own Sandy Alcantara. So Miami, if y'all do want to send them our way, you can take one of our pitching prospects with Brett Beatty. We're gladly happy to send them.
Top. they were watching the same game as us. Come on, they was watching the same game as us. They're not gonna want nobody.
Chris, we don't know that. They might have put their TVs on layaway. The way that Miami does things, the way that their money's situated, they may have been watching it on an Etch-a-Sketch. So
now
it
that you
might have been a
mentioned that,
drawing of the game.
now that
They
you
were
mentioned that,
let's draw what happened. Circle, circle, straight line.
I want to ask you a question. Do the Mets get to put their logo when they go down to Miami? Because there's more Mets fans there than anything else there.
I mean, they have an M, so hey, for what it's worth, I guess so.
Wait, are you saying that N and that Y together make an M?
No, but I mean, it still represents for the Mets, so it's like, you know.
Oh yeah, look at that M right there.
Oh, see, I didn't think of that. Oh yeah.
I hope that you're being facetious because I was joking. But yes.
Me too.
Okay. You know what bugged me out? I know this is off topic, but the Milwaukee Brewers hat. Like as a kid, I used to be like, why do they have a mitt as a logo? And then it took me a while. I was like, oh, that makes an MLB.
You find out it's
clever. That blew my mind. I was like,
wow. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
hey, man, I didn't say I was an intelligent child. I watched a lot of TV.
Shout out to Spaces, man. Shout out to Spaces.
Yo, you can tell that Spaces
the Mets frustrated. Yes, the Mets frustrated. I wasn't going there.
Oh, you want? I'm sorry.
I was going about the Mets. I don't know about those things.
I like sports.
I like baseball. Yo,
colors,
yeah, there's minerals all around us. Oh man.
Shout out to the minerals, yo. Y'all doing really good out here, yo.
You remember that one time you saw?
Yo, this is gonna be the one episode that gets deleted before it gets released.
They're gonna catch on. They're gonna be like, "Oh my god,
it's already released."
Oh my god,
it's live. You can't do nothing, bro. That's it.
Yo,
we can't rewind.
I promise you, I'm having more fun doing this than watching the last Mets series. I'll tell you that much. And they won it. That's how bad that was. The Mets bats in the Miami series didn't really wake up either, and I think that was very frustrating and annoying. That second game that we lost, there was no excuse. I think like that bats were horrible, like that last base. Like I really thought that was a horrific showing. Like they really were just like it was just like a whole lot of nonsense. Like that space. Like it was just a whole bunch of nonsense in terms of those at bats. Like there was just no idea what they were doing. Like the people talking in that space. It was just horrible. And if you don't, okay, you know what? Inside jokes over. We were obviously on a space that was not great on X, and it was just horrible. But the jokes being aside, like, you know, shout out to Queens Baseball forever. It's not even about that. It's about the just some random people.
Yo, shout out to the communities, man. If you ever open up a community, make sure you do it with sense. Anyway,
all right. Like the lack of sense that those bats were, for real. Like those lack of like, I don't think, like, I really had a problem with that because it just felt like they were flailing at everything. And I was just like, why are we having these dumb at bats? Like, it didn't make any sense. Like,
you gotta change the name of this live to the AP Comedy Hour.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
He's been on a tangent for like 7 hours now. Oh man,
you know what it is? Like today we went to disco. We're watching a lot of comedy shows, and I think we inspired AP, and he just went off today. Like I don't know.
That's what it is, man.
I just don't like ignorance, man. I just don't tolerate ignorance. And I just feel like it's just a lot of ignorant things. Like I saw a lot of ignorant baseball. I saw a lot of ignorant people talking about baseball. I don't know. Like,
I get it. It's a disrespectful sport. Like, I get it. It's a slap in the face.
It really is, because it's like a sport that I love. And it's like, if you're just going to come and be like, I like orange, then, you know, maybe baseball isn't for you. Maybe it is not. Maybe you should just sit down and not hurt your head.
I have a question because I honestly, since we're on that topic, you know, Amish is like
Amish just disappeared. I don't know.
Amish say, "Yo, I'm done with this conversation." Amish is like 3, 4, or 5 hours away from us. Imagine somebody like that with that type of mentality that just says, "I like baseball," but has no reason why. Just says it. Driving up to meet Amish at a Pittsburgh Pirates game, and that's all you could talk about.
Yo, I do not want anybody associated with that to come to Pittsburgh. Like y'all stay in New York.
Oh no! Please don't leave them here. They should move to New Jersey.
Stay over there. We good over here. We're straight.
Hey, listen. At the end of the day,
Yo, this is why. Look, it's important. It's important to make sure that your kids don't have paint chips. Make sure your kids don't eat paint chips. I want you to check for lead because this is. Yeah, I'm being serious. Is the camera looking at me? Look, I need you guys. If you're an idiot, to never open up your mouth. Never open up your mouth. I don't want to see you.
Where else is your camera looking at, bro?
I don't even want to we should put you on some type of island. You know what that island is called? No, you know what? Never.
You know that the people watching this are gonna be like, I thought I came here to watch people talk about the
Yeah,
Mets.
we took it, but the bets.
No idea what we're on a tangent about.
You literally jumped up from 43 to 55 in like 2 seconds. The rest of those that jumped in are probably like, what the fuck are they talking about?
All right, let's get back to the real stuff.
Whenever you go to Miami, you don't come back. That's what it is.
No, but they should leave Beatty and Guantanamo Bay. I think that honestly, the bats were atrocious. Everybody except for Danny Young pretty much did their thing. I mean, Danny Young, for the love of God, man, you put him in a safe situation, and we weren't up 10 runs. Like I don't know why they did that. Mendoza was playing with fire.
Can you imagine?
I was terrified.
Can you imagine him closing out a Game 7 of a World Series?
Who would you pick, Danny Young or Dykeman? Who would you pick in a situation?
Diekman, all day. At least Diekman has a good fastball and he could locate the strike zone. This dude, Young can't, bro. You just don't know. You just don't know. I'll take. Hey, listen, after you make Aaron Judge look stupid, you on my good graces with. I'm sorry.
Well, going back to the whole offense in Miami.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was only one guy that showed up. Not even Soto showed up that whole series.
Right.
It was just Pete Alonso himself.
He looks like he's pressing. Like he definitely looked like he was pressing in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like he's probably trying to do too much. Remember, like the offense just looks dead, so he's probably just trying to create some offense or something. Mm-hmm. And obviously, him kicking the ball in outfield that was a nice spot, but it is what it is. They didn't hurt us that much, and hopefully these guys get it going, man. I feel like they come home now. The crowd is gonna be behind them. Hopefully that should give them some kind of energy. Hopefully it does, and let these guys go because right now, if they talk that talk like they're top 5 offense, right now they're a top 5 pitching rotation and a bottom 5 offense. Yeah. That's the way it's looking like right now. So they just gotta look. The pitching has been done more than its job. Mm-hmm. If you coming out of games pitching 2 to 3 runs, like 4 runs shouldn't tell you, oh my God, we lost this game. 4 runs should be like nothing to this offense. Like they could score on the first 3 batters. Like, but the thing is that these guys, man, they just gotta get it together. And I feel like once they get into that rhythm and everything, and the crowd behind them and everything, I think they'll be in a better spot. They just gotta take advantage of the great pitching that we have so far. Because let's all be honest with ourselves. There's gonna be an outing or two that's gonna look very ugly. It happens to every team and everything, and they're often gonna have to carry that. Yeah. And I just hope the offense starts clicking by that time because if not, it's gonna look very ugly. We don't want very ugly. Right now, it looks ugly. I don't want very ugly. So let's just hope they turn it around, and that's it.
Amish?
Yeah, I mean, it's it's the same thing. Yeah, they scored more runs in Miami, but at the end of the day, they should have scored more than 10 runs in that game.
Mhm.
They scored them all in a chunk. 4 of them came off of the grand slam. Alonso's basically, like you guys are saying, he's the only real guy. Terrence, shout out Terrence. He's
Terrence. I cannot forget about Terrence.
one of the highest OPS on the team, and he's a freaking backup catcher. And he's saving our asses. Without him, we don't win that game yesterday. Let's face it. He made a crazy tag, throwing guys out. His arm is a freaking cannon. So
I think we might be having a conversation pretty soon about whether he should stay the backup even when Francisco comes back.
That's an uncomfortable conversation. I don't think we're ready to have just yet. But hey, Alvy's gotta step up, man. This is when he gets back, he has to prove he's worth all the hype.
That's another one.
We got too many guys on this team that got a lot of hype behind them, but they got nothing to show for it.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, the series, man. Again, 2 out of 3 that you could have easily swept. Like you could easily be 6-0,
100%.
Although on the other hand, you could have easily been 0-6. So like,
like Atlanta, well, they're 0-7 now.
Yeah, like it's one of those
Shout out to Aloha Breeze.
rough situations. And you don't want to. I don't want to make excuses, and it's not. We do got to remember this team. These guys have been away from home they were in Florida for 2 months. Then they go to Houston. Then they go back to Florida. They haven't seen New York in a hot minute. Not that they're not rich enough that they can't bring their families and all that crap, but there's something to be said for sleeping in your own bed and having a home cooked meal or whatever the hell, or your maid making you your favorite meal, whatever they got going on. But yeah, man, hopefully the home cooking, the fans being behind them, the energy City, regardless of how this team started, City's going to be insane tomorrow.
It's going to be electric.
Soto feeds off of that kind of energy too. Like we know it, we've seen it.
Yeah, I heard the Mets, instead of the torpedo bats, the Mets have tornado bats. Mets have ordered tornado bats that they're going to use specifically to get the ball into the wind and hopefully get more home runs that way. We'll see if it works.
Hey, I'll take it. I will take it. I don't care.
Man, and listen, if other teams are doing things and they're getting away with it, why can't we?
Exactly.
Problem is, we're trying. Lindor's using a freaking torpedo, and he ain't hitting shit because
he needs a laser. He needs a laser back.
The month of April does not exist for Francisco Lindor. He's like lives in
Like the problem is Lindor has it. He just has not done shit. Like
the torpedo is sunk. Like something.
We need to try to somehow convince Lindor that April isn't the actual month. It's May.
You know what? I think you're right, Amish. From now on, we have to get a calendar that like goes all the way to June for Francisco. Yeah. Like just flip it and be like, look, opening day started in June. Let's begin. I don't understand it, man. Like I don't know if he's having too much, like
and that's just not
what's
here.
going on, but he just
career.
Yeah, it's his career. Like it doesn't make sense. The dude, outside of that, he performs all the time.
But he calls himself All-Star games. He calls himself MVP. Yeah. Like, if he would just start, and we're not asking him to even hit 300 or anything. If he just hit 250, I think he'd be like on a trajectory of being decent. Like, look at what if Francisco Lindor would have batted 250 in these last 6 games, the Mets probably would have swept both series. If you think about it honestly. Because look at how many times the people behind him, like Soto or Pete, did something. It's crazy. Francisco really is a catalyst for this team.
You got to think about this too. Last year, he started that slow. He wasn't at the top of the lineup. Now he's starting that slow. He's at the top of the lineup.
He's at the top of the lineup.
Catalyst, and nothing's going on. Like it's almost an automatic out.
It's like when you have that hoopty card that you got to turn on and goes and you have to like do it like for 20 minutes. Like you're just waiting for the shit to start already because it's like, yo, I've had enough. I want to go.
But the problem is you can't keep bouncing them around. Like people will automatically say, "Well, move them down," but you can't play that game. So it's rough. You're just gonna have to ride through.
This is what that baby excuse thing that Met fans were talking about the other day. I'm like, what? No, I don't.
That ain't it.
Yeah, he looks a little bit tired, but no, he's been having that issue his whole career. He's not he doesn't start great in to start the season. Like, I can't.
Well, and if you look, it's not like he had a great spring either. It's just like he just naturally those 2 months he just don't hit.
That's what it is. But at some point, it's like we, as much as we.
But hear this out though. This is crazy. This is why it's so funny about Lindor that last year he was hitting he was hitting like 190. Right in the beginning of the month, beginning of the year, that we were like, "Oh my God, this guy's gonna have." You know what he finished with? 275 batting. Like that is absurd. You know what to do that? You had to buy over 300 in the next 3 months. And he did that. He did crazy. To switch a 190 to a 275 clip, it's very hard to do.
That's why I'm not.
He said if he could hit 250 at the beginning of the year, he'd be almost a 300 hitter.
He could hit he could hit it easily 320.
I'm not freaking out. That's why I'm not freaking out because we've seen.
I'm not freaking out because I know he'll turn it around, and when he gets in that zone, he gets in that zone. So,
shout out to Rick, man. Rick joining in. He said, "Yo, what up, fellas? Stopping by to show some love. Hype for tomorrow. Appreciate my
Rick,
guy.
I need some salsa Friday for tomorrow, man.
Yeah, bro.
Rick, just if you watch this show from the beginning, I'll tell you what. Since
just
we were watching a lot of comedy today,
fast forward.
AP was on one. I'm just warning you. Just AP was on one.
Nah, you ain't gotta watch that. It's fine.
No, you gotta watch it. No, you gotta watch it. No, at this point, bro, you save yourself.
40 minutes.
No, you can't save yourself. You gotta watch it, Rick. Rick, let us know when you watch it, because at this point, AP just wanted to open the floodgates.
You thought Bernie Mac was funny?
What did I say? All I said that, like it's important for you to be mindful of I don't know, I guess empty spaces
like sports?
in your brain on internet, whatever you do. Just be mindful.
I understand. Yeah, Rick will understand. I watch.
We're
gonna get a text in the group chat, and Rick is just die laughing because he just saw what the hell we just went through. So Rick knows.
We're all gonna get reprimanded by the Pope.
Yeah, we're gonna get sent to the teens off.
We're gonna go baptized by the Pope.
I think we will. I think he'll appreciate it because I think he wanted to pull the hairs out.
Oh my God.
But yeah, going back to Lindor.
I'm gonna just have a deep voice for the rest of this show.
What?
Yeah. You know what it is, guys? You guys don't know.
Oh my God.
I want to announce this. AP's birthday.
I've been a Met fan for 20 years.
Yes.
I can't be serious. After that BS face, I can't be serious. I can't, man. I love the Mets.
Yo,
not gonna make me lose my mind.
He's going off right now. He's going off right now.
Oh my God, bro.
The reason I like the Mets is because I like the color purple.
Oh my God, man.
I started watching the Mets because I saw Grimace on my TV.
Oh my God.
Yo, you guys can't come up with the reason why you like the Mets other than the color is blue. And I saw the team on TV. Just stop watching sports. You should just coloring books. Coloring books are good. That should be your
Hey, Dad. I heard Mr. Met is not a saint all the time. What are you talking about, son? Well, apparently he stuck his middle finger at in the Mets game. Is that true?
Is
there some truth?
Oh my God. Who could I reach to complain about this personal space here?
Oh my
God! How do we restart this?
Rick, what he wrote? Nah, man, you guys.
Rick, Rick, what up, man, bro? That's it. Rick is done. Rick is done.
Well, all right, guys. It was a great show. It was a great show. Let's go, man.
This one episode of being officially a member was fun. I appreciate it.
Chris left. I just want you guys to know Chris left. Oh my God.
Sorry, my son is around.
Oh no, I thought you left because this was insane. No, but yeah, no. So we could make a connection here. We could connect it back. So just like you don't want to hear whackness and whack people and just stupid shit, you don't want to see the Mets do stupid shit. So for this next series,
Exactly.
please don't be that stupid, Mets. Please, I need you, especially since the majority of Queens baseball is going to be at the game tomorrow. I actually am, and thank you, Chris. I appreciate you giving me that birthday love. I'm gonna be out there at the game. I ended up getting tickets. I mean, my wife isn't here, so fuck it. Like, I really wanted to go without everybody. Like, I wanted it to just be like, yo, I'm gonna meet up with Chris and them. But then like she was like, but we could go. I was like, you don't even like baseball, like those people that we saw in that space. Like, she was like, no, she should join. She should join that collective. But she was like, no, but
fit right in with the Queens.
it's your day. And my son, so my 4-year-old who's gonna be like, yo, I want to leave after the first inning. So those tickets weren't expensive enough, but whatever. It's gonna be a fun day had by all.
Hey, at least
Parade baseball.
At least you know what I love how he says it's gonna be a fun day by all, and then he just smiles. Like, yo, what type of bro? What the hell is AP? AP's a menace, yo.
My wife's going to see this shit. I don't want her there.
Listen, I caught myself going at Jeff McNeil because AP was sick and tired of this damn team. He said,
but I'm gonna feel safe though. I'm gonna feel safe tomorrow.
Oh, of course you are.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel super safe. If the Met fans represent like I think that they're gonna be in attendance, I'm gonna be like, yo, I feel the boost of testosterone in this building. I feel the energy. It's gonna be insane. I'm gonna hear like, oh, let's go Mets, and I'm just gonna be like, all right, I'm safe.
Oh man, AP.
Yo, AP. At least you won't have no space around there though. So think about that.
That's true. There's no spaces. I will not be in any spaces.
Anyways,
shout out to Nelson.
With that being said,
shout out to him. Nah, as a matter of fact, nah. I don't need to shout him out. How about no?
Shout out
I just want to say,
I don't got none. I don't got nothing to say.
Oh, there goes our chance of having him on this show.
Well,
shout out to all the
bridges.
We appreciate you. Oh man, shout out to DMX, man. Rest in peace, homie. A legend in the game.
What I just want to say is that
go ahead, Chris.
Hopefully this series brings us joy and W's, and
yes,
we beat Toronto because our friend Vladdy's gonna be there, and our friend Vladimir Flip is gonna be there, and
did Flip make a bet? Did Flip make a bet on this series?
Well, no, he made a bet in general with Vladdy. If he signs with the Mets, he gets $1,000. No, he gets $500 from this guy from Toronto, and if he don't sign with the Mets, he gets him $1,000. So.
Oh, okay. I thought he might have bet on the actual series. Not for nothing, this series isn't going to be easy. I look at the pitching matchups, and Toronto threw their best pitchers at us. So, and Toronto started off really good too. Toronto's 5-2.
Well, let's not forget Chris Bass. The last time he pitched against us, he shoved us.
Because
basically what he did was he pitched 8 shutout innings and said, "Peace, I'm gonna go have a baby." After he did that, so
yeah, he did.
I didn't forget that. I did not forget that.
He did. So
we'll be fine. We got Gryffindor going.
We got Tyler McGill starting tomorrow. That one should be interesting. I know.
Just win McGill for real, man. I spent a lot of money. I don't want to. Don't ruin it. Like, I spent too much money. Like, don't do that.
You're an a-hole. How you go to the money first? Can you let this brother just?
Yo, I don't make that much money. That dude's been robbing the Mets for a long time. Like, step it up.
Oh my. Oh boy.
Oh well, Tyler McGill, you got some pressure on you, my brother.
And if Tyler McGill's mother is watching this, like, I am not shitting on your son. I'm just saying that I want him to step it up.
Well, hey, listen, shout out to Mama McGill. Shout out to Tyler McGill.
My stepson is watching. That's
Yeah.
what I was watching.
Shout out shout out to his brother, who I always thought was better than him. But anyways, that's a different conversation. Tyler McGill is starting tomorrow. Hopefully he does replicate somewhat of his last start. I know his last start, it was a really good start against Houston. He really shoved. He showed something different, man. I thought he was gonna get killed. I'm not a fan of McGill. I've never been a fan of McGill. In my opinion, think the experiment is over. But in his first start against Houston in game 2, he showed that he could possibly still be here in this rotation. So
I know another experiment that should be over.
Oh, I mean, if your name is Brett and you have Hitman next to you, you're not a Hitman no more, brother. Yeah, definitely a Hitman.
I don't
Get out of
think
here.
he was ever hitting
He's gonna be on a new show. He's gonna stop doing the little TikTok hotel thing that he does for the majors, and he's gonna be doing the Motel 6 up in Syracuse TikToks. Like he's gonna be looking at how beautiful those look in 2 minutes.
Hey, Motel. I heard Motel 6 got a penthouse in the back of their hotel, so he could definitely get that. We'll see how that works out. I don't know what they're gonna do with this brother. Acuna's probably sitting there like, yo, I might as well just go to DR and just play DR for the rest of my career if they're gonna do this shit to me. So, we'll see how that plays out. But we're gonna wrap it up here. Obviously, tomorrow's the home opener. I am excited. We're back in.
Let's go, Mets.
We are Citi Field vibes. Queens vibes are here. There's a lot of expectations going.
A lot of vibes.
We'll be at the ballpark.
The ovations are going to be crazy. Expect MVP chants and my girl singing when Lindor comes up. Expect a tambora and some sancocho when.
Oh, and
all right, hold on.
Expect Flip to run on the field.
I was gonna say that.
Yes.
What, Chris? What is the expected? Like, what should Met fans wear? Like, if you're Dominican, do you have to go fully with the Dominican flag, plátanos, and I guess I don't know, like some type of guido or something?
I guess so. I mean, I know. Flip is gonna be like, he's gonna have his whole hat on, his flag on. He's gonna have plátanos sticking out his ears. He's gonna be all that,
I got my grandmother making some plátano maduros right now, so I could bring it to the park. And I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I got my flag here.
You just say you bringing plátanos to the park.
That is how
Dominican shit.
I'm ready to go.
All right. Hold on. Amish is the Puerto Rican of this squad. So from the Dominican side, I'm asking Chris and Top. Are you guys bringing Dominican flags to the stadium tomorrow?
Absolutely, I am. Yes.
Oh, I'm not much. I'm not the rowdy one. I'm the quiet Dominican.
You're the quiet Dominican. You don't got to prove you're Dominican.
I'm Dominican, but I'm not over here rocking
plátanos. I'm sitting next to Jesus, so I'm not gonna. There's no point in me bringing the flag. Ain't nobody gonna see it. The flag will just fly into the wind, and nobody will see it. So I'll keep it at home. I'm literally like just gonna look up and like touch a cloud, so it won't make a difference if I brought anything or not. You're sitting next to Cohen, right? Top.
Yeah, he messaged me. He told me my suite.
Yeah, look at that. Next to Cohen.
You're in the Soto suite, right, with his family?
I mean, no, that one's a little bit. They had to make that private with all the commotion.
It is opening day. I got you.
When the LED lights go on, it's because of me, because I'm changing the lights when I go over.
Got you.
Chris is there not only to watch the game but to work. He's getting paid.
It's double time for him.
It's OT for Chris. Yeah, exactly. So he's there. He's getting paid, man. I gotta commend my guy, man. He's getting paid. No, Amish is making sure that SNY's cameraman don't fuck it up. So he's over.
Okay, before we leave, SNY has been utter dog shit for the last 2 series. How do you give me heart attacks every 5 seconds with the camera, man? Like,
I swear to God, I thought we lost the game twice with the home runs.
That one Marlins guy, I thought he hit it to the moon.
And then if it wasn't for Gary Cohen, but even Gary's messing up. Gary's been like, that was out.
Oh, Gary does that shit all the time. Pisses me off.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, Gary, man, you might need to retire soon. I don't know what's going on. He's like, it's out. It's the flop to second base.
You can't really tell what timing they're on because you got them calling the game, but then you got a Saturday Night Live between the three happening mid-game because they're always laughing. So you don't know what the hell.
Keith got caught in that hot mic. Don't he talk about piss poor hitting?
But let's be honest.
Was it wrong?
Was he wrong?
Was it wrong?
Nah, he might be suspended though. Like, I don't know if you can say piss.
Saying the truth? Nah, that's why I gotta no. If you're gonna suspend the legend for saying the truth, you gotta do some soul searching at that.
Nah, we gotta get Pete. We gotta
get keeps it real no matter what.
Thank you. Right. Amish is right. He always keeps it real, man.
He does. He keeps when keeping it real goes wrong is a masterclass by Keith sometimes.
He's not a company man. That's one thing I gotta.
And you know what? I appreciate the fact that he is who he is. He's not gonna hide it. Like, I mean, I don't expect him to. I think that he's a legend, and they knew what they were getting when they signed him. I just think it's funny that he sometimes slips up and says some crazy stuff. But I mean, I don't know. Like, we don't always have to be 100% like corporate. Like, it's baseball at the end of the day, so it is what it is.
I know, because that's his space. So with that, we'll let you guys go.
Yo, Chris, you know what?
Enjoy opening day, my guys. Amish.
My God.
I hope you come out somewhere.
I'm gonna enjoy that shit from my couch, but I hope you guys have fun at the game. I wish I could be there,
bro.
You'll be there in spirit.
I expect to see y'all in Pittsburgh. Well, at least one of y'all in Pittsburgh.
Of course, I'm gonna try. Yeah.
You know, it would be dope. I went to Pittsburgh. I love that stadium. That stadium is really dope.
We're definitely planning that trip.
Definitely.
It would be a cool trip to take to. Hey, maybe somebody opens up a space.
Hey, shout out to the spaces.
Talk about it on the spaces.
Oh yeah, we talk about
left, you got spaces on your right, you got spaces in the back and spaces in the front. Spaces.
Oh, hey, look at you rapping.
This bars.
Yeah.
Spaces is always the.
Those are those bars that you should do solo. No one hears them. Anyways.
Hey man,
it's been real, everybody.
Shout out to Figgy, man. We appreciate you. Anyways, shout out to Amish for again joining us
Amish.
and vibing out with this, man.
Everybody, we're gonna have a conversation after this space, so everybody's gonna get their space comments out of the way, and we won't talk about a space ever again. So we'll talk right after this show.
Don't say that.
Hear a space thing again.
Don't say that, because if we see another fuckery like we saw today, we're definitely gonna say what we have to say, bro. Don't do that.
I don't know who I have to talk to about that, but maybe if you could point me in the right direction.
I absolutely will, because I know who.
All right, man.
All right, well, you know. Signing off for the last time, 7 Express.
Appreciate everybody tuning in, man. Please
great run.
Adding 7 Express podcast.
We had like 5 episodes. Well, the 3 of you that saw it, thank you for watching. We appreciate it.
Last stop on the 7 Express line.
Yeah,
Main Street.
Appreciate y'all, and we will see you guys on the next video. Peace.
This is SNY's Gary Cohen, and this train ride is over. This is the last stop on the train. Please exit onto the platform. Thank you for riding with us.